In 1990, the launch of the Hubble Space Telescope promised astronomers a view of the early universe they had only dared dream of. High above the Earth's atmosphere, this billion-dollar looking glass would have a totally clear view of the most distant galaxies.
Like that?
But the dream turned into a nightmare. Soon after it was launched, they discovered that the mirror was misshapen. It saw everything out of focus. One of the repairmen sent up to fix the stricken telescope was astronaut Jeff Hoffman.
It was unbelievably embarrassing for NASA and for the astronomical community. I mean, I had astronomer friends who that summer when they were on holiday and people asked, well, you know, what do you do for a living? They didn't even want to say I'm an astronomer because the first thing everybody would say, oh, the Hubble telescope, ha ha, you know, it was a big joke.
First, the crew of the rescue mission had to capture the crippled telescope.
Hello, Jeff?
Then execute a repair mission unprecedented in the history of space flight. Spread over 5 days of spacewalks, they repaired the faulty optics. The replacement parts fitted perfectly. The problems came when Hoffman attempted to close the huge access doors.
Lo and behold, they did not close. And I worked, I went up to the top of the doors, I went to the bottom of the doors. But what we figured out was that we could use an extra tool which had a little strap and wrap that around some bolts to gradually winch the door close. We ended up spending over 8 hours outside, which is the second longest spacewalk that's ever been done.
At one point in the mission, they even had to dump a damaged solar panel overboard. With all the repairs completed, the cosmological community held its collective breath to see if the most expensive telescope ever built would finally deliver what its designers originally promised. This is what Hubble saw. The images they received were beyond anyone's wildest imagination. Free from the distortion of the Earth's atmosphere, images captured by the space telescope left even the most hardened of cosmologists in awe. Hubble captured the final moments of a star's life when it explodes and blows off layers of gas and dust. It also captured interstellar nurseries of newly born stars, each one as varied and unique as a human fingerprint. And dark pillars of cosmic dust more than 1 million miles long, ready to spawn a new generation of stars and planets. But Hubble's true moment of glory was still to come. The mission controllers pointed the telescope at a distant, empty patch of deep space and waited. Over a period of 10 days in 1995, emerging across the coldness of space, the Hubble Deep Field image revealed a tapestry of distant galaxies. This was the furthest back in space and time we had ever seen.
To point the telescope for hundreds of hours and let this light that has traveled for 10 billion years slowly dribble in and accumulate. When you see so far back and see so many galaxies and imagine that the sky is filled with them, billions of galaxies, that's like 10 galaxies for every person on Earth, something like 50 to 100 billion galaxies. and each one of them containing 50 to 100 billion stars, say. That's an enormous number of places where there might be planets and life and very interesting things going on in the universe.
Powerful computers have turned the real galaxies of the deep field image into a remarkable 3D journey to the edge of the universe. In the foreground are mature galaxies like our own. Further back in time are younger, energetic galaxies. But beyond here, the structures begin to thin out. This is as far as we can see. This is the edge of the visible universe, over 90% of the way back to the beginning of everything. Faint galaxies that were formed just 1 billion years after the Big Bang. Beyond these galaxies, we can see nothing. We're entering the universe's dark ages.
Sometime a few 100 million years after the Big Bang, this dark age must have ended when the first stars were born. And so the universe lit up for the first time, perhaps 500 million years after the Big Bang, and it's been lit by stars ever since.
The universe is so vast, some astronomers have decided to make a map of exactly where we are. Just as Galileo tried to make sense of our place in the heavens, here at Apache Point, New Mexico, a group of astronomers are trying to locate our position by constructing the biggest map that anyone has ever seen. Built specifically to map over 1 million galaxies, this is the home of the Sloan Sky Survey. Over a period of 5 years, astronomer Jim Gunn and his colleagues are about to start mapping our exact position in the universe.
We're in a galaxy, which is not a particularly remarkable galaxy, but this 3D picture that we will make of the nearby universe tells us how we fit into this vast scheme of things that is the universe, and I think will give us a much better idea of our place.
By systematically scanning the entire night sky from a site high above the desert floor, the results will be plotted not as a two-dimensional route map, but a fully interactive, three-dimensional guide to the universe.
If you think about that from a kind of cinematic point of view, one could take this map very easily, put this map on a computer, and enable you to rotate the map, to fly through space, if you like, to look at our galaxy from outside, to look at the other galaxies around us from the other side, and take not only from any angle you want, but from any place in this map, and look out and see what it's like to be somewhere else in the universe than what we are, which is, of course, what you see in science fiction films all the time, but you will actually be able to do it with the galaxies that are there.
Jim Gunn's survey is an ambitious project, and it's only just beginning. This is how the final map may look. It's a computer simulation of superclusters of galaxies massed together in giant blobs. You are here. This would be the position of our planet, our solar system, and our own Milky Way. But on this scale, it would be impossible to see us or even any of our neighboring galaxies. This is a map of everything we can see. Everything in the universe, all the visible stars and galaxies, were born in the same furnace, the Big Bang. A ball of intense heat still cooling as it continues to expand. Cosmologists are not only confident that they have unearthed the universe's past, but that they can also predict its future. Space, like the surface of hot-blown glass,